Hello, my name's Claire and I'm here to do another First Light Festival crafty thing for you. Right, today we're going to make sun catchers. These can be used either in your garden, in your windows, on a mirror, or wherever the light's going to catch it, and they look absolutely gorgeous. And they're very simple to make. I've got some examples here. Can you see all these here? I've got a beautiful green one here they're all made with beads and wire. The wire's either any old wire that you've got laying about that is really bendy, even garden wire will do, but yeah, just some wire and some beads. Now this one here I've made to represent the actual seasons. So we've got your spring here, we've got your summer, we've got your autumn, and then we've got your winter colours here. And they're very easy to make from things that you've got at home. Let me just hang that one up again. So hang that there. Let's push that slightly out of the way. That's better. Right, so what you're going to make them with is some beads that you can buy at your local craft shop, or if you haven't got a craft shop local, perhaps you've got some old beads laying around the house, your old granny's necklaces, perhaps they're in the dressing up box that the children play with, I don't know. But you can always just cut the string, take the beads from there. There's some really beautiful beads on there. The beads I'm going to be using today, I actually got from Hobbycraft, and they were reasonably cheap. Right, first of all, I would recommend you keep a cork. You're going to need this cork because you're going to be poking through some holes for a lolly stick. Right, so first of all, you get your lolly stick, just like this. And then on this lolly stick, you need to do 5 markings. Okay, so you measure these out with a tape measure, or some people might be able to do it by eye. I always use a tape measure just in case. And you mark where the holes are going to be. Here's the one I've done. And you mark, can you see that, where the holes are going to be? The one here in the middle is where your middle hanging hook bit's going to be, okay? And these are going to be where your strings hang through with your beads on, okay? So, how do we make these holes? Right, what we need a little dowly. This is actually a little old screwdriver that I pinched out of my husband's toolbox, but don't tell him. Right, so what we need is the cork. Let's clear a bit of space here. Put the cork there, the lolly stick on the top. We're going to go with the middle hole first. So we just get that and we poke it right through like so. It's easier to do it like this because it actually stops the lolly stick from splitting, and it also saves your fingers and hopefully your table. Right, let's just do these. Right, 2 more to do. Right, so now can you see that? You've got your holes right the way through. Okay, so put that to one side. Right, now what you need is your wire. Today I'm using this really silver bendy wire. It's a wire that can be used for jewellery making, but as I say, you can use garden wire. Garden wire is just good, especially if you are going to be putting these lovely things in the garden, because they'll last better in the garden with some garden wire. Okay, so what we need is some pliers. Let's find the pliers. I need 2 lots of pliers, one with a really rounded nose end like that, and one ordinary set of pliers, which have got the cutting bit just here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to cut 5 lengths of wire. Okay, so you need your length of wire, I'd say about 20-25 centimetres long, or as long as you actually want to make your beads. There we go. Right, so we need 5 pieces of wire like this. Okay, so then what we need is we need to get our little heart bell and choose a different colour maybe, because I've got these in several different colours, for the end of each piece of wire. So now what we're going to do is we put a jump ring, sorry, on there like that, and then we're going to put it on the wire and put the jump ring together with the pliers. Like so. Then bend the piece of wire over and twiddle it so you've got a piece that looks like that, and that's ready now for you to be threading your beads on. Okay, so this one is going to be for the autumn ones. I've actually took advantage and made the other ones earlier for spring, summer and winter here. I put these together earlier. So with the autumny colour, you need to find this with our little ring on again, like so. I'm going to do your autumny colours. We've got your purples, your browns, got a gold on there, got another browny colour, crystally. Don't forget to put some nice shiny ones on there too. The purples, the browns, the golds, nice crystally looking. See if that's as long as the others. Yeah, that's roughly the same length as the others now. We'll just put that like that. So now we've got 4 of these all made there. Okay, so right, we'll keep those like that. Now we need our lolly stick, and for the centre hanging piece, we're going to work on that first, okay? So what I've done is I found a nice big crystally bead there. Look, that's beautiful, isn't it? So I'm going to use this as the centrepiece. Now I've put a piece of wire through the top of the bead and I've wound it round so it's like that, okay? So we put these 2 ends together and we thread this through the middle of your lolly stick, okay, like so, and that's going to be your nice centre balancing bit in the middle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple more beads. I'm going to add a couple of gold and silver beads to the top like this, just to give it something shiny at the top, okay, silver and gold, because then that keeps with all the colours that we've got in like that. Okay, and then what we do is we join the end together, twist the ends together like this, like so, twist them together like that, and that's going to be for hanging your whole thing up when it's done. Okay, can you see that? Right, so now what we need to do is we need to decide what order we're going to do your strings of beads. And at the top of each bead, as a fastener, we're going to use a gold or silver bead like so. So we need 4 of those. I've done 2 of each there. So I'm going to start from left to right here, which is going to be probably the opposite way around for you there, with threading these on. So I'm going to start with the spring. So I put the spring wire through like that, and then I add, because that's got the silver bead in, I'm going to add a silver bead to the top like that, hold it in place, and then I'm going to twist this around. Okay, so you twist the end of the wire around that top bead like so. Okay, that's just going to hold it in place. Okay, so there's your first one. So then that's spring, so let's go with the summer colours next, which is this one. So we're going to put that through the next hole, which is there, and because it's the summer ones, it's going to be a gold bead because it's got the gold bead in there. So let's thread a gold bead on. Same again, twist round like that, twist around that top bead, like so. So now you've got two beautiful hangings with the little hearts at the bottom. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Okay, so there's summer. So now we want autumn, so that's this one here. So we put that one through like so. Oh, maybe little hearts come off the end. Let's sort that out in a second. With the gold bead on the top, twist that around again. This is the fiddly bit, but once you've done it a few times, you'll get to know what you're doing. And just put that around like that. So now you've got that one. Let's add our little heart back to the bottom. That's come off for some reason. Oh, the clip was slightly undone. Let's have the pliers there and just clip that back on. I think on these clips a little bit of solder would be good, especially if you're going to be putting them outside. And they're going to get blown about in the wind a bit more than they are indoors, aren't they? So there we are. We've got 3 now with the crystally piece in the middle, which looks really effective. And then we're going to put the last one on, which is our wintry one. So put that through the hole. Just there. Like that. A silver bead on the top. Wind it round. Wind it round again. So there, you get the idea. So now we've got, look how beautiful that looks. Can you see that? With all the different colours. Right, so that's that done. And doesn't that look beautiful? That would look lovely catching the light either in your garden or, as I say, in your window. And it just looks absolutely lovely. See? Got 2 there. On this one, I actually added a different charm and did this bit slightly longer and attached the hanging piece from the ends rather. You can just play with the idea and see how you get your balance best. But as promised, I'm going to show you how to start the shape to make this beauty. Right, so what we need for this is we need quite a few bits of wire. Okay, this one's quite a difficult thing to make, but once you've got the knack, you'll be fine. Right, so let me show you. Let me lay that one down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this in coloured wire, how to put it all together, because it'll make it easier, I think, for you to see. Okay, so what we need is to cut this wire into several lengths. So let's start. So what you need to do is decide how many spokes you want for your star. How simple or how complicated you want your star to actually be. I'm actually here going to cut that. What have we got? We've got 2 bits there. So if we cut these in half again, like so. So now I've got 4 bits, so I'm going to have 4 prongs to my star, okay? So what we need now is you need to do that like that. And with one of the pieces, you need to pull it out and twist it around the centre of all your pieces together like that. Okay, so once you've done that, can you see how I'm doing that? You need to twist them in the middle. Sometimes it might be easy with a pair of pliers actually to twist. Let's try it like that. With 2 pairs of pliers and actually twist the whole thing together. Yeah, so you've got a joining point. So once it doesn't matter if these are all odd lengths because we're going to cut them down once we've made the star. So now what you need to do is start spreading them out. Then once you've got them all spread out like so, in a shape you're happy with, I would get a bit more wire like this, a short piece, and twiddle in between all the pieces to hold them where you want them to be. Okay, now this looks difficult, but once you start playing with the wire and bending the wire, you'll see how you can shape all of your pieces. I know they're all different lengths, but as I say, we can cut them off afterwards. So now what you need to do is to decide what colour beads you're actually going to put onto this. It looks a bit like a spider, isn't it? So what I would suggest is, let's make this one like a sunshine. So I would suggest I'm going to do an orange prong. So we do all the orange like that. Once we've got all the beads that you want to put on it, bend the end over to stop the beads falling off while you go round to the next prong. So I'm going to do a pink one next. We've got something that looks a bit of a mess, but it isn't a mess because it's going to be beautiful when it's done. Okay, so now what we need to do is I'm going to put a crystally bead at the end of every prong. Okay, right. It's all nice and tight now. Right, a couple of the orange ones have come off, but we can always add them back on. Right, count how many we actually need. So we've got 4 on there. So now I'm going to put a crystally one on the end of there. She says. So we've got a crystally one on the end. Right, so now what we need to do with our pliers is to cut. Can you see that? Just above the top, like that. And then with these pliers, we're going to curl the top the wire to secure it. Can you see that? Okay, so we move round to the brown one. So we want 4 on that one too. And then in the end, you'll get this, which is your shape. Can you see where the ends are all twisted? And just play with it and get the idea of how to do that. But I've just taken that off for you so you can see that is how it's done. And then what we do is we thread a piece of wire. I've added an extra little bell to this one, through the top of one of your rings, like so. Hook it through, bend the wire over. You can always clip it with your pliers just to make sure it's tight. And there you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and you're enjoying all the other lovely videos that are on here for the First Light Festival. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.